Well, hello and welcome to The Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. This time we've got a Cragganmore 12-year-old. It's a Diageo malt from Speyside, and it's part of the Classic Malts of Scotland range, which is Diageo's marketing idea, which was actually quite a good one, where they would get, with them owning 20-odd distilleries around Scotland, they would pick out distilleries that had that they thought showcased a particular region quite well, and Cragganmore was the Speyside representative of that. So they had Glenkinchie for Lowland, Dalwhinnie for Highland, Talisker for Skye, Oban for West Highland, Lagavulin for Islay, and the Cragganmore was the Speyside version. About $85 for this at PC Liquor Store. It is bottled at 40% ABV. I'm tending to steer away from things that are 40% ABV nowadays. It's almost certainly chill filtered, and there's almost certainly a little bit of fake tan added to it as well, being Diageo as it is. The packaging I quite like. It's fairly understated. It says, although it does say Cragganmore in these huge letters around the bottom half of the tube of the carton, and liquor store clerks like to put them 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so that it says Cragganmore all across the front. So that's obviously a very big banner advert for Cragganmore. Fairly cheap cardboard, which you can't really complain about, but I do like the sort of classic label, and because this is part of the Classic Malts of Scotland range, you would see this in lots of pubs and things and restaurants. So again, 40% ABV, probably chill filtered, almost certainly artificially coloured. Diageo malt, Speyside, about $85 plus VAT for this bottle in BC. And my experience with Cragganmore has been fairly limited. Many years ago, I bought one of the Distiller's Edition bottles, and I wasn't particularly impressed with it. And I've obviously tried this 12-year-old a number of times before, but this is the first time we've had a bottle of Cragganmore on the channel. Malt, light fruit, and a little bit of smoke and honey is what is sort of the initial feeling of it. Stewed apples, stewed rhubarb, apple strudel or apple turnover. A little bit of cherry, maybe some hazelnut as well. Boiled sweets, hard candies. And something slightly fragrant, maybe some kind of jasmine or something like that. A herbal tea or something. Very definitely a candied pineapple, a preserved pineapple, some tangerine, melon. Very sour, unripe pineapple as well. Vanilla, porridge oats. Hot cross buns. Gingerbread or Lebkuchen, the German gingerbread. Kind of sweet floral meadow flower notes, as well as a more perfume note. Sweet lavender. Something caramelly or fudgy as well. So the nose, pretty good. On the palate, pretty light in many ways. Very Speyside-y. Malt and honey. A little bit of smoke. Some stewed fruit, tropical fruit. At times there can be a thin bitterness to this, with it being 40% ABV. It can have a thinness on the palate, and I'd say 40% doesn't really suit it. It'd be nice if you could get this in an independent bottling or at cask strength or just a higher strength. But there's some vanilla, barley sugars and sweetness, caramels like Werther's Original candies, some smoke and cinnamon on the palate. So 40% ABV. I will not be adding a lot of water to this. Half teaspoon. Pour out some honey and citrus there. Dash of fresh lemon juice, some limoncello or lemon curd. Sharpish honey. I don't know my honey varieties very well, but there's is it buckwheat honey or something that's got a sharpness to it? Those Ricola herbal lozenges. So sweet herbal notes really. Cinnamon now starting to pick up quite a bit more cocoa, milk chocolate, lime peel in particular, instant coffee granules, and still picking up that pineapple. A tart pineapple, maybe a little bit of fresh mint in there as well now. With a drop of water, much more sweet, milky notes are coming through. Sweet herbal, gingerbread, sweet lime, cinnamon. More of that honeyed malt, which I think makes this interesting and accessible because it has that honeyed quality, and later much more milky on the palate with the addition of water. The finish, it probably a little bit thin on the finish. It can be a little bit bitter. It can trail off somewhat. There's been some crab apple, some odd sweet and sour notes. But there's fresh mint, a lot of peppermints, honey, Palmer violet candies, boiled sweets, milk, sake, and just a little smoke as well on the finish as well. So all in all, despite the poor presentation, it's actually not a bad malt. It's a shame that it's not really seen in independent bottlings, because I would be buying this at 50% ABV, or if there was a cask strength Cragganmore that I could buy, I would be buying it, because I think it's an interesting spirit. This particular expression, I don't know whether I would buy the 40%er again. It's only as bad as any other 40%er. In fact, it's better than a lot of 40%ers. You could do better and you could do worse at the price point that it is in BC. I think it's well worth trying. It is a nice spirit, so well worth a try for people who are used to the 46% ABV. You might think it's a little bit thin, but it is a drinkable and available malt, so I don't have too many complaints with it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the review, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers, goodbye.